What has been the thinking and the main drivers behind this latest budget by the finance minister and her team, including you? What has been the thinking behind the?
I'll put it three elements. One, that we should continue to support growth uh, in the context of that we had in the year of the pandemic. We had the loss of output. We have to make up for that. So we need to grow faster, and we have to grow for a long number of years. So we have very strong impetus to growth. The second, it has to be done in a manner that we are physically prudent, especially in the context of very high degree of uncertainty at the global level. We don't go overboard to compromise in any way the fiscal balance and what it takes to provide a very strong strength for the macroeconomic parameters. That was the second element. Third one, don't keep our eyes off what is needed for the long term, the potential of the economy in terms of its productive capacity, its potential for getting skills to the people so that they are ready when the job opportunities as they are growing up, the right set of skills are available for them. And third one is keep our eyes very clearly on the productivity aspect. So these are the three broad areas: growth, fiscal prudence, and the long-term investment of the softer aspects of the economy in terms of skilling and the productivity.
Sir, a lot of the attention obviously has been on capex. In 3 consecutive years, the government has raised year-on-year capex by more than 30%, 35%, 34%, 35%, now 33%. So, number one, how do you measure the efficacy of that capex on the ground, the center's capex? Secondly, the belief before the budget was that private sector capex is finally coming back. And while the center may have to increase capex, it may not be as much as previous years, but in fact, it is as much as previous years. So, what has been the thinking? Are you still believing that private sector capex is not pulling its weight? In spite of whatever recovery private sector balance sheets have shown, private sector capex is not as much as where you would like it to be.
I'll request you to look at it in a more nuanced manner. Where government capex is there, and where the private capex is expected to come is happening. Government capex, a very dominant part, is getting into railways, roads, urban infrastructure. These are the sectors that 90% plus of the investment anyway is happening because of the public investment, not because of the private investment. And those are the investments are needed whether we do it today or we do it over a number of years. Private investment, when we are talking about, these are in the sectors of the infrastructure wherein private investments are significant, for example, in telecom, ports, airports, and so on. There are a couple of others, or in plant and machinery, or in a large scale housing projects. So, those are the ones, these are two different ones, but these are complementing each other.
Budget obviously assumes a nominal GDP growth rate of 10.5%. So, what is the real GDP growth rate you have implicitly assumed?
Here you are talking about. See that when you talk about a nominal growth rate, this is a combination, as we are well aware, of the deflator as well as for the real growth rate. Economic survey puts a number that range being 6 to 6.8 with probability or our assessment of being that towards the higher level rather than at the lower level. And we shared that we while making the budget, not saying we, that economic survey is very much part of the finance ministry. Our sense is that yes, it will be 6.5% plus. That leaves another 4% in terms of the deflator coming in. And if you look at that WPI is cooling down. At the same time, inflation, CPI inflation is again 5.5. I'll put a broad number moving forward. But if you were to see if the inflation were to go down further, that's one. That will should also need to add to the growth. So it is interplay. For us to separate 10.5 is a difficult task. So it can play out with different numbers.
So that we'll definitely see, while you have not decided the amount, we will definitely see green bond issuances next financial year.
That decision has to be taken when we decide the calendar for the H2 of 23.
H1 we are ruling it.
H1 we do not plan because the monies which have been raised, and I clarified that aspect, that having raised money in the month of January and February, in terms of a compact with those investors, an unwritten compact, if I were to say, that monies will be moved after the monies are raised.
Yes.
We can't say that I have used it for the previous expenditure on those projects.
Okay. Understood.
When we use it, we are getting 8,000 crores has been subscribed, another 8,000 will come in the coming week. So that has to be now onwards, and we say that would suffice certainly for over next 6 to 9 months.
If you like this video, share it and subscribe to Business Standard. For more news, views and insights, log on to www.business-standard.com. Do also follow us on YouTube, Twitter, Facebook, Instagram, Telegram and LinkedIn.